Play with something safe, man. Don't play with me.
Alright, so we got the first part of this out of the way with the peak Avengers video, which released a week or two ago. This is the peak Avengers video. After this, of course, will lead into the final epic clash of peak high-end ultimate wanked Avengers versus peak high-end ultimate wanked DC Justice League. With that being said, if you want the scans or the information I provide, become a member. I'll make sure you get it. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to go over the power sources, like references for the scaling throughout this video so that it doesn't get hyper repetitive, as most beings in this video scale to each other. So with that in mind, I just have to go over the basics of what the scaling is based off of, and that way you have something to reference later on in the video. So if you need to take notes, go ahead and do so. But anyways, let's begin. Now, Mr. Mixie, who's relevant to the scaling, has gone beyond the source wall and is capable of perceiving the real world, but he cannot pursue and perceive the realm of monitors. Like, it's just completely beyond him in all areas. Mixie has embedded his fifth dimensional energies in Superman. By the way, fifth dimensional is not a spatial dimensionality reference. That's very important. These energies transcend the idea of time itself. Dr. Manhattan is an existing energy source in the DC universe now, and while in his physical form, he makes light of magic and the emotional spectrum. Both sources have affected the source wall. Now, here's something I want to emphasize. The emotional spectrum is basically powered by abstract ideas and thoughts like love and hate. So as long as that's around, the power is around. So you need to think about how crazy that is, because it's essentially around as long as someone can think. So it's quite powerful. Green Lanterns, through sheer will, can hold the source wall together. Source, of course, is what powers all creation. This is important because, like, even the Green Lanterns at some point can show to scale to this high outer versal place. Superman explains in that his red and blue forms are split energies. These are fragments of himself that he goes back to normal soon as the energies learn to coexist. He can do so. So a lot of times he's suppressed or underpowered. Speed Force at one point in the comics is actually mistaken for the source wall energy itself by Highfather, which is crazy. Chaos energy is one of the many names for opposing forces that fuel evil in DC comics. Dr. Manhattan's energies still remain in DC even when he's not prevalent after. The Batman who laughs is shown combating Robins and, messing with Robins that are holding these books. But what makes these books crazy is that they contain the entirety of DC within itself. So, like, they have multiversity, all that. In the Metal story, Dream states that all of the dreaming would be consumed by Barbados. The monitors scale so high over Barbados, who is supposed to be a massive threat, that he is a toy to them. Characters like True Darkseid are far above the fate of the multiverse, aka they are actually above retcons. There's also mentions throughout these crazy outerversal transcendences of additional limbos and many voids in the DC cosmology, which further adds layers to it. And we've even seen characters like Darkseid, who's not one of the strongest in DC, create an entire sector outside of creation itself. Now, with some of the basics outlined and reviewed, let's go ahead and go through the Justice League members. First off, we have the big dog himself, the heavy hitter of the group, Superman. Now, Superman himself is supposed to be the strongest of all and unique in every way. He's been able to shatter the realm of monitors, which was beyond even Mr. Mixie's perception. Dr. Manhattan cannot erase Superman from existence. Instead, he has to learn more from him each time. Superman in 2007 Superman Batman story used his heat vision to rip something from the source wall. In 2006, the Superman Batman issue, we saw that not only was Superman able to seal Darkseid in the source wall, but he actually was able to tear him out of it without any outside help, which is absolutely absurd. As we know, even Perpetua can be sealed in the source wall. Adventures of Superman 551, he was able to fuse the source wall's breach back together with a thermal burst. Superman is grabbed by the source wall in Superman issue 128 and managed to break free. And he had to suppress himself from breaking the wall, which is absurd. Of course, there's the classic Superman is the embodiment of hope itself. This was explained in Trinity of Sin, and it makes the most sense, as if hope remains, Superman remains even after we are gone. Superman has resisted all forms of kryptonite from every reality, even the unknown, before. In Man of Tomorrow issue 12, Superman was able to hold up creation, which you could argue is fiction itself, which is a crazy outlier feat, but hey, it's useful. In Man of Tomorrow issue 7, we find out Superman is constantly holding back, so you can make a generous argument that all prior feats mentioned Superman was restrained, which is absurd. So yeah, the big dog Superman's coming in with crazy AP resistances and durability and will be hard for anyone to put down. Moving on, we have his speedy partner, Flash. Flash, one of the founding members of the Justice League and one of the fastest boys in fiction. Now, what are some of the high-end crazy feats you can attribute to Flash? Well, Barry and Wally were able to shatter Hal's construct, and Wally had to save Hal, stating it was too dangerous for him. This battle almost broke the ring itself, which is insane. Wally is able to attack enemies with members of the Speed Force family, and he can do so in the Speed Force, so basically like summoning other Flashes. You can argue Barry is capable of sensing energy disturbances from the Speed Force, Source Wall, and other sources like the Sage Force, etc. So you can argue he literally would be able to sense someone scheming on him with an energy attack or anything like that. It's going to be hard to get something past him and get the drop on him. The Strength Force surges through Barry. This allows him to cause earthquakes, manipulate gravity, and at one point he said he was the strongest of everyone. Barry is capable of destabilizing the form of someone even as durable as Solomon Grundy, who has soloed the League before. Barry Allen at one point gets hit with crisis energy, which is explained to be fragments of energy left over when timelines are altered. And we know that Dr. Manhattan is the reason for most alterations in DC, and with the power, he left power fragments throughout DC which characters are channeling. Due to this paradox, Wally has absorbed some of this insane energy. Flash can be killed and taken out across every timeline and still remain. Flash is capable of stealing your kinetic energy, as seen in Flash Superman issue 1. In a crisis event, Flash defeated Anti-Monitor, who is casually consuming verses. Flash is unaffected by the anti-life equation and one-shot true form Darkseid. This would also be the only known event that retconned true Darkseid directly, as Jack Kirby previously explained true Darkseid is above retcon. So you can argue Flash can bypass durability that can even withstand retcons, which is insane. Next up, Fishboy, Aquaman. Does Aquaman bring something to the table with his high ends? Yeah, he can actually scrap. You'd be surprised. Aquaman in the 2003 run, which is full of outliers, he scraps who he believes is Superman, but it's later revealed to be Martian Manhunter. After this fight, Manhunter remarks that Aquaman very well could have beat Superman in a physical brawl. Aside from normal Atlanteans being able to knock back Superman, Aquaman has taken Superman out of a fight for a duration of time in Justice League issues 15 through 17 in 2011. In 2011, Justice League issues 13 through 14, Cheetah was blitzing the League but Aquaman apprehended her effortlessly. In the 2016 run, issue 6, Aquaman has a brawl with Superman over a political dispute and holds his own. Of course, the reason I'm not elaborating further is we've already scaled Superman, so we're just scaling off that. Aquaman swims the secret sea where sorcery and will are useless. The sea embodies perfect ideals. This was in Aquaman issue 5, and he was able to do it. Aquaman states he is capable of simple telepathy, but upon contact can dive deeper into memories. And during the events of Infinite Crisis, Aquaman is seen exchanging blows with Despero, and at times even telepathically hacking him. Next up, we got the human of the group, the big boy brain of the group, the detective of the group, Batman. What does high-end Batman bring? I'm sure all of you are curious to see. Well, he wields the Black Lantern ring in death metal and is able to manipulate the abilities of the Death Ring casually. Batman, actually in death metal, this was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, but it's crazy and funny, tanked the platonic bullet. During the metal story, the Batman who laughs trades blows with Batman, and this Batman who laughs is equal to Perpetua, as explained in Hell Arisen. Batman rattles merged Lex and draws blood. This merged Lex was Brainiac and Lex amped by Perpetua. And finally, Batman's been able to combat Superman, who is mind controlled and he's smarter than Brainiac and extra dimensional intellect. Moving on, we got Wonder Woman. What does the princess bring to the table? Well, Wonder Woman has sliced merged Lex, who is amped by Perpetua, and she nearly cut him in two. She's tanked a blast by merged Lex and didn't suffer any noticeable damage. She battled evenly with Aquaman, who he scaled to Superman. Wonder Woman issue 758, she was able to defeat Phantom Stranger and defied the Presence directly. By doing so, she, is getting bopped on by the Presence, but she tanks it and is ultimately forgiven by the Presence because she was revealed to be right. So her resistances are literally Presence level, which is insane. Moving on, we got Cyborg, tech boy, former quarterback star. What's he bring to the table with the high ends? Well, Cyborg and his alter ego Grid belong to their own universe that they are essentially gods in. This universe came to be as a result of the boom tube creating Cyborg, and with the thought of not belonging here, Cyborg created Grid. Cyborg can control Brainiac's ship, although it strains him. We know the ship has previously shown to be powerful enough to detain Superman. Despite facing possible death, Cyborg has tanked Starfire's power, and the strain the ship is placing on his mother box, and survives with no side effects noticeable. He's stated at one point to be equal to an old god because of obviously all the hacks he's gotten over time. Victor at one point matched Darkseid for a brief moment, then he tanked a slam with no injuries. Starfire, amplified with the power equal to a new god, is put down by Cyborg easily. Cyborg states he's the strongest mech in the multiverse. Cyborg is able to see through Darkseid's plans and secrecy. Cyborg has tanked and protects his friends from energies beyond the source and creation. And Cyborg's mind can comprehend what a human can't. Cyborg operates beyond human comprehension. Cyborg's been a new god. Cyborg 2v1 final feat pulled out a big W against Orion, son of Darkseid, and Blackfire. Moving on, we've got perhaps the toughest Green Lantern ever, definitely arguably the most recognizable, Hal Jordan. What's he bring to the table? Dangers that would one-shot Highfather-like beings cannot one-shot Hal Jordan. Hal consistently scales above the entire Lantern Corps by himself, and he's casually tanked the power of the Lantern Corps in the Rebirth run. He's overpowered Parallax Sinestro with the power of an entire Yellow Corps behind him. Obviously, this is important because we showed how Lantern Cores conceal the Source Wall. Hal defeated a Source Wall amped Black Hand in a Convergence tie-in fight. Hal actually at one point in the comics becomes the power of will itself. Hal is capable of merging with the Speed Force, and Hal influenced Kyle's will after Kyle mastered the White Lantern ring. That's how absurd his manipulation of willpower is. Now, finally, my boy, the green heavy hitter himself, Martian Manhunter. What high-end feats are we bringing to this battle? Well, the burning needed to be separated from the canon space-time to even be nullified. He's destroyed white Martians in the Phantom Zone, which shouldn't even physically be possible as physical forms are not there. Furnace defeated the Justice League effortlessly. And this is all important because Manhunter defeats Furnace, aka the Burning. So a Justice League threat, he's taken down. He mind hacks Mr. Mixie in Justice League Rebirth, which is crazy. Manhunter telepathically claims the Titans as the Source Wall is being created. The Source Wall has been known to seal the strongest of characters like Darkseid's father, Yuga. Manhunter actually was able to read into the totality, which rivals the Source. And Perpetua's OP army is built on the DNA of Martian Manhunter himself, which shows how OP he is. Anyways, guys, that's it for the team. We've got some nasty heavy hitters on here going up against the Avengers soon in a members exclusive video. Yes, to see the video and all the member exclusive videos, you got to join membership. At the very least, you can get the video pass. Very cheap. Get that, join. Links in the description. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy, your favorite villain, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.